And the atheists, they always say, Matt, we don't really hate God because you can't hate what doesn't exist, Matt.
I don't believe in God, and I don't hate God, so that quote is quite correct. As you all see, today it's a new video about Matt Powell. First of all, I want to thank all my patrons, members, donors and subscribers. All of you are important for me. Thank you very much. Today I will have a look at Matt's latest video. The name of the video is Atheist YouTubers Show the Real Color When Defeated. And the topic of this video is trying to prove that atheists hate God. Can it be more stupid? Let's watch this dumpster fire.
I'm going to prove to you that they know he exists. What if I spent all of my time debunking fishing? What if I wrote a book against fishing and I told you that there's flaws with fishing? I don't believe in it. Wouldn't that mean that I hate fishing? Yes. If you spend your life and your whole YouTube career against something that you think is a fantasy, it proves that you actually hate the thing that you're trying to debunk.
That was a bad one, a really bad one. And Matt thinks he's smart, because it's no problem to see people fishing or trying fishing, but I have never seen God. Have you, Matt? Have you ever met anyone trying to force fishing on other people? Like you, Matt, that thinks that gods decide how we should live our lives here on Earth. You don't see the difference?
If I wrote books, right, against Jesus, and if I put out content against Jesus, said that the resurrection never happened, that means that I would hate Jesus in that case. And when they say the resurrection never happened, there's only two resurrections that you could choose to believe in. You could either believe in the resurrection that Jesus spoke of when he said that this temple will be destroyed. He says, you destroy this temple and in 3 days I'll raise it again, speaking of his body. Or you could believe that every living life form, I want you to think about this, every living life form resurrected itself from the dead millions of years ago, from non-existence and non-living material.
Using your logic, Matt, you hate science, because most of your videos is about evolution and that Darwin is a liar and we live together with dinosaurs and so on. You're a science denier. So, in your logic, you hate science.
That you and I and every other animal resurrected ourselves from the dead. You could either believe that Jesus resurrected or that all of us just came to life out of nowhere. Who are you going to trust, folks? Would anybody here do a debate with me on the existence of Elmer Fudd for 3 hours? Would they do a debate on the existence of fairy stories and fairy tales? They say believing in God is nothing more than a laughingstock to me. Then why do you debate on it? Because you know that God is legitimate enough to fight against.
I have no problem at all with your God or the Bible or that people believes in a God. What I don't like is when people try to force their beliefs on others, and worse, when religion and politics is mixed up. You want the schools in US to stop educating what Darwin found. But not all Christians see it your way. All Christians are not science deniers. Why are your beliefs more important than others? Why are your beliefs more important than other religions?
You know deep down in your heart that God is legitimate enough to have a battle with But I'm sorry, you cannot battle with fact. And you cannot battle with those who know fact. That's why at the end of these debates that I've done, what's the very first thing that the atheists all do when they lose? What's the very first thing? They will light a joint on camera. They'll light a joint, which is extremely unprofessional. And they will sit back in their chair and start drinking alcohol because that's their way out. That's their way back into fantasy land to make them feel better after taking such an incredible loss. And it shows that the statistics are true. It's not that I'm some great debater. It's that fact will always defeat fiction. That fact will always trump that which is an opinion. That fact is stronger than the way that they feel inside.
That looks like a normal cigarette based on tobacco. Why are you lying, Matt? And you think you have the facts backing up your claims when nature tells another story. The Earth is not 6,000 years ago. Some days ago I made a video about the Ice Age and the land rise in the area where I live. And it proves that the Earth is not 6,000 years, far from it. But, as usual, you're a science denier. Matt, why do you hate science?
And, look, done several of these debates, and, one of these atheists broke down crying. Look, I'm not in any way trying to hurt their feelings. I'm just trying to get them to wake up and realize that they were lied to.
Someone starts crying after debating you, Matt. I don't believe you. I are convinced that you are lying. Or post a link to that debate, please.
In 1963, we saw some terrible things happen, right? The Bible was removed from the schools, and then Darwinian evolution was what it was replaced with. And they had replaced it with the origin of species. So they took the Holy Bible from the hands of the students and replaced it with the origin of species by means of natural selection. Problem is what it caused, all right? Suicide rates went up, premarital sex rates amongst teenagers went up, premarital birth rates also went up, couples living together went up, drug abuse, child abuse went up. All of these statistics went up in 1963 when the Bible was taken from the schools.
I know that these statements have been debunked several times, but this is how Matt wants to see the world. One other problem is if they used the Bible in the schools in US, you wouldn't be satisfied because a majority of the Christians in your country don't read the Bible the way you read it.
And here's a scary fact. It's because that the Bible says that all the nations that forget God shall be turned into hell. Talk about a hell on earth when literally everything is going crazy. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God.
I'm Swedish and I live in two countries, Sweden and Norway. Both belongs to the least religious countries in the world. If you look at the number of murders per 100,000, the US have 5 times more than Sweden and 10 times more than Norway. If we look at suicides, you have higher numbers in US than both Sweden and Norway. Drug use is also a bigger problem in US than in Sweden and Norway.
Man, that's scary. But if my people, which are called by my name, will pray, seek my face, and humble themselves, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and forgive their sin, and heal their land. We need to turn back to God. We need to get the Bible back in the schools, the 10 Commandments back on the wall, and God will start blessing, and these horrible statistics of death, suicide, and murder will lower.
The problems you have in US is not related to the Bible. The statistics show it. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the Bible. But I don't hate God. I don't hate the Bible. What I can't stand is hateful people like you, Matt. I think you're evil. You hate Muslims. You hate science and homosexuals. I have many close friends that believe in God. You have friends that work as priests and pastors. None of them read the Bible the way you do. I respect their beliefs and the right to have them, and they respect mine. I have no problem with Christian traditions. When people close to me dies, we have the funeral in churches. I understand why religious beliefs is important for people, and I respect it. But Matt, you're nothing but a hateful person that don't accept any other views on the world or religion than yours. You are a narcissist, a hateful person that I despise. I don't hate your God. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Now we have passed 4,300 euros sent to Ukraine. A big thanks to all of you that are helping me helping Ukraine. I will be back tomorrow. See you then. Have a nice day. Bye.